I'm a 3D artist, and in this video, I redesigned some of Minecraft's most famous mobs into overpowered boss versions and showed them to a real mod developer to get his reaction. They ended up way more complicated than I expected, so if you like what you see, I'd appreciate if you subscribe. The first mob I redesigned is the Creeper. I started by sketching out the rough shape of what it would look like. The Creeper is probably the most famous of all the mobs, but the current design doesn't really give me a lot to work off of. So I did what any sane person would do, which is looking at Google to see if there's anything I can blatantly steal. There weren't a lot of options, so I had to do the next worst thing by actually coming up with something on my own. That's never resulted in catastrophe. We only know a few things about the Creeper. It's green, its primary function is stealth, and it has no purpose but to wreak havoc and destruction. You know what else has all of those things? Chameleons. Terrifying creatures. I got to work blocking out the basic shape of a giant chameleon. Since creepers are based around stealth, I imagine this boss would mimic the textures of the environment it's in. If it's in a field, it would be a grass texture. If it's on the roof of a cave, maybe it's stone. Whatever the case, making this shape with squares is borderline impossible. It took so many tries to make something that looked remotely decent. Normally Minecraft bosses look like this, so when I made this, I knew I messed up. I thought it would be cool if the tail was these separated pieces that were held together by lightning bolts or something, but this ended up changing everything. See, I was originally going for the natural look. Creepers are supposed to be these plant-based, forest-dwelling, life-ruining creatures, but I started getting different ideas. First and foremost, metal tail. It'll look better with the lightning. Next, I had metal plating and technological details around the face, the body, and the cask. It's a horn. Moving on. Next, I add these glowing runes on it. This one took a while, but it really adds to it, I think. I kept going, adding detail after detail, but it wasn't until it was too late that I realized my fatal mistake. You see, there is one thing that creepers can do that chameleons can't. One crucial trait that I had overlooked this entire time. The point is, the boss has to incorporate explosions somehow, otherwise it's just disappointing. Now there's two options I can go with here. First is the obvious one. Defeating the boss results in a massive explosion, devastating the entire area. Second option, it can launch its arms and legs like rockets and grow them back after a while. I wonder which one I'm gonna pick. With that, the creeper boss is complete. And I think it's pretty cool, but it doesn't matter what I think because a real mod developer will be judging these designs, so I need to make a couple more. It turns out I sunk way too much time into that first boss. But you know what else would be a good place to sink your time? Genshin Impact, who happened to sponsor today's video. You've probably already heard about it, so I won't talk about it too long. It's a free open world RPG on this massive continent. Go check it out if you're into games like this. It's available on PC, mobile, and PlayStation 4 and 5. As an artist, I've made some pretty horrendous things, but it may surprise you to know that I actually appreciate art that is, good. The design that goes into big environments like these is super impressive. I love open world games for that very reason, so with all this great art, a good storyline, engaging gameplay, and it's free, mind you, Genshin Impact is definitely worth trying out. In this update alone, they did a new area called the Chasm, as well as new quest lines, events, characters, items. It's the gift that keeps on giving. The new guy, for example, has this flower field attack. It's pretty unique. But that's enough of that. Thanks again to Genshin Impact for sponsoring this video. You can use my link in the description to get the game for free. The next mob I wanted to redesign was the Enderman. Now, there's a million different ways I could design this one, and since coming up with it myself didn't work last time, I figured I would try the next best thing, which is, of course, asking you guys to come up with one for me. Unfortunately, I, of all people, know that asking YouTube comments to do anything is pretty much guaranteed to result in pain and suffering. But then I realized that's kind of what this channel is in the first place, so I decided to do it anyway. I asked Ericat to make me 2 different Enderman designs and then let my subscribers pick which one I have to make. Hey, do you have time to draw some Enderman?
Yeah, I could draw Enderman.
Why does that sound like a threat? After some waiting, the drawings were finally done. The first design is this Enderman brute with armor and an elytra. Normal Enderman can teleport around, maybe sneak up on you, but this thing could teleport above you. It's kind of like if phantoms were mixed with Enderman. That's a horrible idea. The second design is this creepier, super cursed version with stitches everywhere. I asked my subscribers which design I should make, and there were some interesting opinions that were expressed, even some lore masters in here making backstories for them, but the general consensus was, of course, to make this design right here. See what happens when you subscribe? You get to have my suffering on your conscience. Love that. The current Enderman has a pretty simple model, but it's good enough to get us started. I will need to make some slight changes, however, including breaking every bone on its decrepit body and giving it a hunchback. The next part is the hands, which are famously really easy to make in art. People love drawing hands, people love modeling hands. Really, hands are just super cool. They're super easy. Am I making my point yet? All jokes aside, the best way to model hands is don't. Go do anything else, actually. Go outside, touch some grass. But you know what I love more than hands? feet. Canonically, feet in Minecraft are just squares, so they're a lot easier to model. It turns out Enderman with feet is pretty cursed, but I guess that's kind of the point, isn't it? After all this modeling, there's only one more thing to add, and that of course is the tentacles. It's no secret that Minecraft Endermen are based loosely on Slenderman, so leaning into that for the drawing was pretty smart. Fortunately, I've seen quite my share of tentacles, so adding them was pretty easy. I imagine the tentacles would allow it to hang from the ceilings, climb up walls, and crawl around super fast. The model's looking good, but the call with the mod developer is coming up quick, so I need to finish the texturing fast. Texturing can be really difficult because I have to precisely measure and align the pixels of a texture onto every single cube in this model. It's the most tedious thing ever, and it usually takes multiple hours to do. If you're saying to yourself, wow, that sounds like something that there's a way better way to do that, well, check out this cool button I found. That's been there this whole time. That would have saved me like 300 hours if I knew that earlier. Remember when I said hands are impossible to get right? Let's talk about eyes. Specifically the ones where you only have 3 pixels to portray this complex emotion. There's no thoughts in that head. It has no goal but to bring destruction and mayhem wherever it goes. Its pupils are paper thin as it scans the horizon for its next victim. Such a wonderful expression. But I'm working with 3 pixels here and it is not translating. I tried every pixel combination and I just couldn't seem to make it work. But I wasn't giving up, I was only getting started, because there's one thing I didn't try yet. You see, if I double the size of the boss, I also get double the pixels, and that's exactly what I did. It still wasn't easy, but I was able to do the rest of it in my art style, and even though it's hard to match actual high-resolution imagery, I'm proud of it. But unfortunately, it doesn't matter if I'm proud of it, because it was finally time for the mod developer to judge my work. Hey, so what's your opinion on chameleons?
I mean, they're pretty cool, but their hands are weird. I don't like where this is going. That is terrifying. I was not thinking of that. Dude, I'm in awe. I'm just staring at this and I'm like legitimately just really impressed. The tail is really cool. I like the little runes on it. I guess I want to know more. Yeah, okay, so I would rate this probably like a solid 8.5 out of 10 because I want to know more. I want to know, where did it come from? Who built it? What does it do? Why does it want to kill me? I want to know, man. I'm interested. This is cool. I like it. To be honest, a lot of the stuff I build has no backstory, and then at the end, I just kind of make something up. Oh my god, I just got a preview of that. It looks like my paralysis demon, but an Enderman. Dude, is its arm sewn back on? That is so horrifying. Dude, it has like real hands? Oh my god. I hate it. I mean, I love it, but I hate it.
Oh yeah, I gotta show you the original art.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to see that. They're a good artist. Oh my god. You can make it more creepy with animation, for sure. Alright, I have to rate this cursed Enderman probably a 9 out of 10, man.
Alright, thank you so much, and go subscribe to Skylor Beck if you haven't already. If we learned anything today, it's that YouTube comments aren't so bad, and when you can't copy anything else, just copy nature's. See ya. Thanks again to Genshin Impact for sponsoring this video. Make sure to go check out the 2.6 update. Download the game for free using the link below.